Hey folks, this is JR with DIY Prepper. Welcome to the channel, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Olight Warrior Mini 2. And this is going to be my new EDC flashlight. I have been carrying its predecessor, the Olight Warrior Mini, for the past year, and we'll talk about some advantages that the new model has over the older one a little bit later in the video. It's extremely important that you have a good quality EDC flashlight because, as we all know, emergencies can happen anywhere. They don't just happen at home where you have all of your gear set up and ready to go. I actually had a power outage at work a few months ago, and I had to use the Warrior Mini to light hallways and things like that. Then you can also have car problems at night. There's just a lot of times where it's good to have a high quality flashlight with you that can produce a bunch of light, that's durable and reliable. And getting into the features of this particular flashlight, it is just over 4.5 inches long. The actual number is 4.65 inches long, and it is just around 1 inch in diameter at the widest spot up at the head of the light, and it weighs around 4.3 ounces. So this is going to be a larger EDC flashlight, but in my opinion it is well worth it for the power that it can produce. It has a maximum output of 1,750 lumens, which is really impressive for a light that you can just fit in your pocket, but you can dial that down to as low as 1 lumen if you need to. So it's as much light as you need, and it can be as little light as you need as well. Before I go any further, I would like to thank Olight for sponsoring this video, and if you decide that maybe you want to take a look at these and purchase one for yourself, if you don't mind using the affiliate link in the description below, that'll help support the channel. And if you use the coupon code down there, that will give you 20% off until midnight of October 15th, and that's Eastern time. So get your order in basically before 11:59 p.m. on October 14th, and that will give you 20% off of this light. And when it comes to light modes, it has 6 different modes. The first one is turbo, and that is 1,750 lumens with a throw of 220 meters. And you'll get that much light for around 4 minutes. Then it'll step down to 500 lumens to avoid overheating. From there, it'll last 206 minutes at 500 lumens, and then it'll drop down to 200 lumens for the remaining 40 minutes of battery life. This is great if you need a lot of light over a long distance. Things like checking large areas like your yard. I'm on my church security team, so if I need to quickly check big rooms or long hallways, make sure everything's going good in there and it's dark, then this light is going to be able to help me out with that. Then the next light level is high, which is 500 lumens with a throw of 117 meters. That will last at 218 minutes that high, then it'll step down to 200 lumens for the remaining 55 minutes of battery life. And this is great if you're working outside at night, or maybe you're somebody who is a deer hunter, you hunt till dark, then you got to go back to your truck or your four-wheeler from the blind. This will illuminate those pathways to keep you safe and aware if there's an animal such as a feral hog. We have a big problem with that in my area, and that'll let you know it's there and do what you need to keep yourself safe. And the next lighting mode is medium. That is 120 lumens with a throw of 57 meters, and that'll last for 19 hours. That's kind of my go-to setting for just use every day, especially if it's during the day but I need a flashlight to give a little bit more light, maybe in a corner or underneath something. That's going to be sufficient for that, or even just walking to your mailbox at night. Then the low setting is 15 lumens at 19 meters, and that'll last up to 164 hours. I like to use that mode if I'm moving around the house at night. I don't want to disturb people. Or if you drop something under the seat of your car, you're going to be able to light up that area without blinding yourself with the reflection. Then the next mode is moon mode, which is 1 lumen, and the battery will last up to 45 days on that, which is crazy. That will allow you to read maps and other things without being blinded by the glare reflecting off the page. And it's also what I use to check on my toddler before I go to sleep. That is part of my nightly routine, making sure that he's okay before I go to bed. And I can even shine the light directly on him without disturbing him. Your mileage may vary if you have a child who is a super light sleeper, but it's worked well for mine. And then the last level is strobe. You can use that to signal for help. Say you slide down an embankment in your car, you can use that to gain people's attention. Or if maybe you're walking to your car, there's some sort of potential threat, you can use that strobe mode to disorient them, so hopefully they'll leave you alone. Or you can use it to disorient them and do whatever else you need to after that. Now, getting into additional features, the body of the light is made of machined aluminum alloy, which makes it extremely tough. It's IPX8 waterproof, and it's drop rated up to 1.5 meters. One thing I really like about it is that it is USB rechargeable, so that's going to give you a lot of different options. If you need to power this light up, you're going to be able to plug it into a wall. You can use the USB ports in your car if you have some sort of solar generator, or even those small portable USB battery banks. And then the charging cable is a magnetic charging cable that just clips on to the back here. While the light is charging, there's a little light here that will be red, and then when it's charged up all the way, it will turn green. And the battery inside is a customized 3,500 milliamp hour 18650 battery, and this is a customized battery produced by Olight. So you may want to order a spare because just regular 18650s will not work in this flashlight. Another thing that I really like about this light is that it is a dual switch model. It has both a side switch as well as a tail switch, and the side switch is probably what you are going to use the most because it can access all 6 modes: moon, low, medium, high, turbo, and then strobe. To access moon mode, press and hold the button and that'll go on. If you want to go up to low while the light is on, press and hold the side switch. It'll go up, then go to medium, then to high, double tap for turbo, and then hit the button 3 times for strobe. And it also activates the lockout feature. If you press on that button and hold it, the light turns on, and then it turns right back off. And if I press that, you can see how there is a red LED inside of the switch. That means that if you press the side switch or the tail switch, the light is not going to come on, which is great for preserving battery life. You don't have to worry about it coming on inside of your pocket or bag, purse, whatever the case may be. It also serves as a battery life indicator. So if you have the light on, okay, and it is green, that means that I have above 60% battery life. If that light turns orange, that means that the battery's somewhere between 10 and 60% life. If it turns red, it's between 5 and 10%, and if it's blinking red, you have less than 5% battery life remaining. And then the tail switch, that's going to be more for tactical or defensive use, or if you just need to access light quickly. And this is programmable with 2 different modes. The first one that I have it on is you press halfway down, it goes to turbo, and then if you press it all the way down, it goes into strobe. And then if I want to switch it to the other one, all I do is press down the tail switch, hit the side switch, and then it goes into the alternative mode, which half press is high, and then full press is strobe. Okay, and I will talk about why the light kind of drops down if something gets too close to it. That's actually a safety feature, which I will cover in a second. Now, out of those 2 modes, I actually prefer the turbo and strobe mode, just because if I am wanting to access light quickly, I want to be able to have bright light, and I want to be able to have strobe, especially being in like the church security thing. Not that I'm expecting anything bad to happen. I hope it doesn't, but I mean, we're there just in case. I can use that to shine light on people, blind somebody if necessary temporarily. And then also it has a reversible clip that you can use to clip it onto your pocket, the inside of a bag or a purse. Ladies, I have seen the inside of some purses. I know that if you're not careful, something could get lost down in there. So that clip will help you with that. Or if it's just, you have an EDC bag, you can keep it at the top of a pocket so it doesn't fall down in there and get lost. You don't have to dig for it. It's there when you need it to. And it also comes with a couple extra little goodies. First one being a lanyard, which you can see there. And then it also has a little kind of carabiner ring that you can put in here. And also, that clip that it attaches to is removable, so that if I want to take the pocket clip and reverse it, then I have a nice deep carry pocket clip option that allows the tail switch to face up, which is a big deal because it being magnetic, if you're like me, I carry this light in the pocket along with my keys. That magnet can get stuck onto there, so if I pull the keys out, then the light comes to. Sometimes it falls. That was an issue with the original Warrior Mini, but with this one, I'm not going to have that problem anymore. So getting into some improvements that this light has over the original Warrior Mini, the first is that it's going to be brighter. This has a maximum light output of 1,750 lumens, and the predecessor, the regular Warrior Mini, only had an output of 1,500 lumens, which is still pretty bright. Then the next one, and this is my big one, is the proximity sensor. If I turn this light on all the way on turbo, okay, you notice when my hand's far away, it's very bright, but it drops down when my hand gets close. It actually doesn't even burn when I do that, okay, but when my hand goes back, then it's bright again. The original Warrior Mini had a serious problem where turbo mode could get activated if you didn't have the lockout feature on, and when it did that, the lens would get extremely hot. There's the proximity sensor right there, that little black part on the lens. And that happened one day. I was at a hardware store. I had my son with me. I was trying to actually pick up stuff for a video, and the light came on in my pocket. And it got really hot for a second. I was like, what is going on? I reached in there, and the body of the light was just incredibly warm. I turned it off, and there was actually a hole burned in my pocket. So with that proximity sensor, that's not going to happen. It's going to dim automatically, and then say it's in a pack or something like that, after a certain amount of time, the light will actually shut itself off to preserve the battery. And the next one that I mentioned a second ago is the pocket clip. You can put the pocket clip here, you can put it up top. So that just gives you a lot of different carry options. Like if you want to have where the switch is facing up, like what I do, so it's easy to access, it's not going to get stuck on your keys. That is extremely helpful. And then also it has a crenellated bezel, which is good if you got a clob or something. And since this light is a little bit longer, then it's going to have a little bit more room for you to hit something than, say, the regular Warrior Mini, which is only like this. Okay, so that is it's kind of an advantage and a disadvantage. The Warrior Mini 2 over here is a little bit longer, so it might not be as easy to pocket carry, but you are going to be able to have at least some strikeability with this light, whereas you would be extremely limited with that with the original Warrior Mini. If you would like to see some additional prepper lighting options, go ahead and click the card over there. Thanks, y'all have a good one.